Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And today we are coming back to a topic that has been, we took a little break from this topic, mastering the raid. So we've already covered phases 1 and 2, as well as 3 in some of my previous videos. And today we are coming back to the very, very last phase, phase 4. The one that not everyone really likes. It's usually the most challenging for people. So today I have some gameplay from a fellow member of mine in my guild, the Den of Ren, and they did an amazing job here. They have this down to a T. The footage they sent me was over 40 minutes long, and it wasn't even the full thing as well. And they said they actually eventually just kind of quit because it was going up into the hour or something, and they were just kind of getting bored. So nonetheless, they did over 6 million damage in this gameplay here. So thank you again for sharing this gameplay with me. We're going to talk about what they're doing, but before I do that, I just have a little public service announcement here. Anyone who is looking to join a guild, my guild, the Den of Ren, is looking to recruit some new individuals. We have finally entered the heroic raid, or tier 7, however you like to call it, and we're looking for some new members. There's pretty much one main requirement, is that you have a really good and solid team, like just one team of 7-star characters that can do some decent damage. Preferably, over level 70, obviously, but for sure you need a solid level 7 team so you can actively contribute for the heroic raid. So we have it down pretty much to a science at this point. The gameplay you're seeing right now is from one of our last tier 6 raids, and let's just get right down to it. If you have more questions about joining, feel free to message me, leave a comment, we can talk a little bit. But as of now, as this video stands, we are looking for some members to join our guild and to reap the rewards that are currently in the heroic raid, because they are awesome. Tons of salvage, high probability of getting a full piece of gear, so it's really awesome. So we're enjoying it, and we're hoping to see some of you in our new guild. So again, make sure you have at least one solid 7-star squad that can do some work, and then just a couple backups so you can just help out in phase 4. But we'll talk about that later if you feel like you want to join us here. But let's get right into the gameplay here. So as I said, the gameplay here that we got going, it had, in the very end, it came up to about 6 million damage. They did one run in phase 1 and 2 that ended up being over 8 million. In total, their combined score between just 2 rounds, one in phase 4 and one in the beginning, came up to over 14.5 million. And we're going to talk about why this is so successful. Recently, well, not recently, for a very long time, Doriana was working on getting Rex to 7 stars, and not through the pay-to-play method where you just spam the chromium button. They actually were working through the shipments, because as you've known for a while now, in our shipments, the daily shipments or whatever, you can get some chromium exclusive characters like Rex, Commander Cody. I'm not sure if Echo's in there, but you have Darth Maul, you have Kit Fisto. So out of all the characters that you could possibly farm, Rex is by far the best. It takes a lot of crystals. I think they said it, they did the math, took about 26 or 28,000 crystals to finally get them to 7 stars. And in the raid, pretty much all of the phases, he is amazing, especially in phase 1 when you need a really good cleanser. So we're going to talk about Rex's kit real quick here. And the main thing that really gets this going in phase 4 is his primary attack, which is called Impeding Shot. So pretty much the gist of it is that it removes 25% turn meter. Not a chance, not like Qui-Gon Jinn where he has a 60% chance, but you are guaranteed a 25% turn meter reduction, obviously assuming the Rancor doesn't resist it. But there is a way to get around that to make this more consistent. So that's kind of the main thing. So as you see in this gameplay here, Doriana has 3 main turn meter reduction characters. They got Tebow. We've talked about Tebow so much in the raid. He has 100% turn meter reduction when he's stealth. Then we have Qui-Gon Jinn, who has a 60% chance to remove turn meter. So it's a decent amount. It's a decent chance that you'll get the turn meter stripping. But then you have to kind of worry about the resisting. So if you kind of factor it in, maybe we're looking at like a 50% chance, and then the main guy, we got Rex now. They do 25% turn meter reduction. So really awesome. And the other thing that's going on here, which is really cool, that they have 2 debuff the spellers here. So they have Rex, obviously, with the squad discipline. He dispels all negative status effects, and he grants tenacity to everyone for up to 3 turns, so it's kind of nice. So in case the Rancor decides to attack everyone, you couldn't control his turn meter, you got that tenacity up to kind of protect you a little bit. And then, clone allies, so between Rex and we have 5s on this team, they'll gain 60% turn meter, plus an additional 10% for each effect dispelled. So, and then the other allies, so like Tebow, Qui-Gon, the Ewok Elder, they'll gain half that amount. So it's kind of like a Stormtrooper Han thing where you're granting everyone a turn meter up, which is great, because as we've talked about in phases 1 and 2 and 3, that the whole game essentially when it comes to raid is being able to control how fast it's going. So being able to kind of choosing when the Rancor is going to go really helps you out. The gameplay here is over 40 minutes long, and it goes even beyond that after the recording stopped playing. So as long as you can control it, you can keep it going for hypothetically forever, assuming that the Rancor doesn't resist you too much. So Rex is a very hard character to get. If you have the money, yeah, he's definitely a great buy. I do see him in arena quite often as a leader or under Anakin's lead, so he is a great character to have. The other character that is different in this squad, because if you guys remembered from a video long ago that I shared with Doriana, they did 3 million damage in phase 1. That was like their very early lineup. They didn't have Rex on there, and I believe they also didn't have 5s on there. So 5s is also going to be a great addition to a lineup. He's free to play, really easy to farm up, and he's actually not too bad to gear. I mean, he has a lot of he has a lot of purple mats that he needs, but fortunately he only needs 1 droid collar to get to his maximum gear level, so that's nice. But with 5s here, his turn meter reduction is mainly the speed down. So you're slowing down the Rancor, making sure he's not going as fast, which gives your other members time to kind of slow down how fast everything's going. So let's say you accidentally get resisted, just like Tebow, sometimes gets resisted, which is, it kind of hurts when you see that doesn't happen. The speed down gives you an opportunity to make up for that. So the Rancor is going 25% slower. So Tebow might come back, Qui-Gon might remove some turn meter, or Rex will come in with his impeding shot to slow down everything. So that's definitely nice. And as we know, 5s, if an enemy already has speed down, he has a chance to double attack. So it's kind of, he's making sure that speed down stays constantly on the Rancor. And another attack that you really don't see that often from 5s, but you will probably see it once in a while in the gameplay. I can't recall if Doriana uses it that much. Yeah, they do. Now that I kind of look at the video again. Combined fire, so it's a really nice assist attack. So once you know the Rancor already has speed down, you really don't have to worry about using the primary that often. So you can go ahead and use his special attack, combined fire, which essentially, 5s does his own damage, and he calls someone to assist. So when 5s is calling someone to assist, they have a pretty good chance they're going to call either Qui-Gon Jinn, Rex, Tebow, and you kind of see where this is going. Once you call one of those, you're going to remove turn meter from the Rancor, and it kind of keeps going from there. And of course, there's about a 25% chance that Elder would be the one assisting, which doesn't do anything negative to the Rancor, but you have a 75% chance that either Qui-Gon, Tebow, or Rex, they're going to come in and assist off of 5s. And if Rex is the one who's assisting, then both attackers, they do 75% more damage. So more damage, the better. And the other thing that you really aren't going to see too often with 5s is he's going to be using his counterattack. So the reason why I say that is because the whole point of this lineup is to make sure the Rancor doesn't attack. But once in a while, obviously you can't control it 100%, but sometimes the Rancor will attack everyone. But fortunately, Rex can come back and attack with a plus 50% counter damage. So he's going to try to put speed down back on the Rancor, making sure he's not going to get back to normal, and he's also going to do more damage. So those characters that I just mentioned, they're really critical in their new lineup, and in Heroic Raid, they're working just as well. They pointed out to me that they have noticed that when you get to the Heroic Raid, if you're planning on using these characters, make sure you get a lot of potency mods, and that's what they did with Rex. They went ahead, got some potency mods because the Rancor resists a ton, as I've seen as well. My old Ben, he used to, do something to the Rancor in the tier 6 raid, but now that you're at the tier 7 / heroic raid, he always gets resisted. Turn meter never goes down, never gets offense down. So old Ben kind of got, not nerfed isn't the right word, but he's not as useful without the potency mod. So definitely, if you're planning on being awesome at the raid, especially when you get to the heroic one, make sure you get some potency mods, which, as you know, you will need some Empire characters. And if you need to know some good Empire characters to farm, check out one of my previous videos, and I kind of give you some advice on that. So we'll briefly touch on the other characters. Really, the only ones we haven't really talked about in depth in this particular video is Qui-Gon Jinn and Ewok Elder. I have given them an extensive review in, I believe, my Phase 1 video. Yeah, Phase 1 video from a while ago. And Qui-Gon Jinn and Ewok Elder, they make this even easier. So they are definitely huge contributors to why Doriana is able to go so long in the raid. So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about them fairly briefly since I've talked about them before. But essentially, Qui-Gon Jinn, he's pretty much in every person's roster. And the main thing that he has going on is that he has a 65% chance to gain 30% turn meter with his quick strike ability. So he's got a chance to, get sped up again, and he can go ahead and attack sooner. And the main thing that makes him useful is that he has a 65% chance to remove 30% of the target's turn meter. So for the raid, his primary definitely deserves getting an Omega map, because it really adds another great ability to Qui-Gon's kit. And the rest of his abilities really aren't used all that often in Phase 4. So Harmonious Assault, when you can essentially bring an assisting ally that deals more damage and recovers health, that is really only used in Phase 2 and Phase 3 when the door is down on the Rancor. You can go ahead and just pour your damage on the Rancor, and you will see it sometimes when you're in Phase 1 when you gotta take out the guard really fast. But other than that, Harmonious Assault, Humbling Blow, you really never ever see that being used in the gameplay all that often, because his main job is to make sure the Rancor is not going that fast. Next, talking about Ewok Elder, again, he's not there to do crazy amounts of damage. He's there to make sure that your squad, he cleanses the debuffs. He's there to make sure that if someone falls, he guarantees that they'll be revived again. So pretty much the first ability that he has, which it does come in handy once in a while, is that he has a 60% chance to gain 50% turn meter, and then he grants other Ewoks half that amount, and grants other allies only 10% of turn meter. So people are getting turn meter when Ewok Elder attacks, and then Tebow is going to get a 25% turn meter bonus, and then Qui-Gon, Fives, Rex, they'll get a 10% turn meter bonus, which is definitely nice. It's not a bad thing, that's for sure, especially when it comes to the raid. This turn meter bonus definitely comes in handy. But the two main things that really make Ewok Elder amazing is the tribal healer ability and the power of the forest. And essentially, the tribal healer, as we all know, he heals all of his allies, and then secondly, he makes everyone lose all their negative status effects, and then he has a 35% chance to revive a defeated allies. To revive defeated allies at 10% health. So he gives a little bit of health, but that's not the guaranteed heal. The next one is where he is guaranteed to heal someone. So he has two abilities that heals people, which is great. The power of the forest, he is guaranteed to revive a random ally at 40% health, so a much bigger percentage to start at. And then he has a 55% chance to gain 45% turn meter. So a lot of turn meter, or self turn meter manipulation, and a lot of healing abilities and cleansing abilities, which really makes him a perfect candidate when you're engaging in this raid here. So the last character we're going to touch upon is Tebow. Talked about him so many times in previous videos. Easiest character to farm up through Galactic War for the raid. And his kit is just, it screams, master the raid. He's just definitely by far the best character to get for the raid. Super easy. Farming, different story. He's not the easiest to farm, but he's not also the worst. He only requires 1 or 2 pieces of raid gear, not 3 like some other characters would. But essentially, the bread and butter of Tebow is that he has 100% chance to remove turn meter, 100% turn meter as well when he is stealth. So that's kind of his main thing, and he has a really great chance to go stealth because of his leader ability, which essentially, it gives allies a 55% chance to go stealth for 1 turn. So yeah, it's all right, when Qui-Gon or Rex get stealth, it's not the big deal. But when Tebow just happens to get stealth because of his leader ability, it's great. It's great when it actually works, and you can just remove 100% turn meter. But then let's say all of a sudden you don't have stealth. If you go ahead and use his Ewok scramble tactics, all Ewok allies are going to gain 100% turn meter, and then Tebow, he's going to get stealth for 3 turns. 3 turns. So he'll have 3 attacks where he can remove 100% turn meter, and that's where the magic happens, my friend. And then the other attacks, the bring low, it's nothing too amazing. But if someone has a status effect on them, like which Rancor never gets, buffs, he's never going to get an offense up buff or anything like that. But let's say hypothetically he did, Tebow can remove it with his bring low attack and then remove 60% turn meter. So again, it's not what Tebow's meant for. His leader ability, his stealth takedown, and his Ewok scramble tactics, that's where the magic is happening here. So that's really all there is to it. All these other characters, Fives, Elder, Qui-Gon, and Tebow, free-to-play characters. Rex is the only one that is very hard to farm for many good reasons. And I don't suspect he's going to be free-to-play for a very long time. He's kind of one of the incentives to spend money because he's such a great character for many things in this game. But yeah, other than that, just a few little news things I wanted to bring up to you guys, because I know the next weekly news video probably won't get to mention it. But we are having some Omega events coming this weekend, Saturday, August 6th and August 7th, so tomorrow and Sunday. And speaking of Ewoks and farming Empire characters for potency mods, that's going to be the first event coming tomorrow. So if you have your Ewoks and Empire characters, you are all good to go. And then Sunday, we are having a First Order and Jawas event to get Omega Mats and all the other awesome bonuses. So look out for that. Make sure you get those Omega Mats. Easy way to get 2 free ones over the weekend, and more if you decide to pour the crystals in. But other than that, let me know what you guys thought about this gameplay. If you have any other questions about what we did, leave a comment down below. We'll talk more about it. And don't worry, when the new raid comes out with General Grievous, we got you covered. We'll get you a game plan to make sure General Grievous goes home crying back to Count Dooku. But yeah, guys, subscribe, leave a like, comment below if you have some more questions or want to see something later on, and we'll talk again later. Peace out.